Well, by the raw numbers, you might say that Idaho's homeless population isn't too bad. The United States Interagency Council on Homelessness estimates 2,315 people are experiencing homelessness in the state of Idaho. Compare that to more than 14,500 in Oregon or nearly 23,000 in Washington. Now, the Gem State isn't sounding any alarms, but people who work with the local homeless population have noticed a change. The Boise Rescue Mission says that more senior citizens are finding themselves on the streets for a variety of reasons. These people are vulnerable and they need help. And the Rescue Mission is looking at a variety of solutions and think they may have one on the horizon. Here's Andrew Bartline.
To happily spend 20 years at the same job,
there's been bumps along the road,
is to know why you do that job every day.
I do it because I do love it. And I'm called to it.
Reverend Bill Roscoe.
They're not doing it to make a pile of money.
Runs the Boise Rescue Mission and their 6 shelter services to lift Idahoans out of homelessness.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many chances do you need today? That's how many chances we want to give.
But these days, Reverend Roscoe isn't counting the chances. He's counting the ages.
Well, we see 34 people today in our shelters who are over 65, and several of them are well over 65. 5 or 6 of those people today ought to be in an assisted living and have extensive care being provided to them. To the people experiencing that, it is a nightmare. To our staff, it's a real chore because they're hard to serve. People are hard to serve. People are incontinent. People need a lot of extra help when they're over 75 years old.
The problem has grown over the past 18 months, where normally 10 to 15 senior citizens come to the rescue mission for help. The problem has doubled in size.
I think it goes back to the root cause of most homelessness today, and that's the dissolution of the family unit. We're all so separated and spread out and far away from one another anymore. My folks who were, they weren't rich people by any stretch, but when Grandma got old and Grandpa died and she needed a place to go, she lived with us until she died. We don't see that much anymore. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and I'm not disparaging people for not being able to or wanting to care for elderly family, but I think that's a big part of the problem.
But the rescue mission aspires to fill the gaps.
They care about these people who are displaced and homeless for whatever cause.
And filed for a solution. They bought an assisted living facility of their own to help those who have little to none.
It fits a very important need that we have and have had and will have, and that is a supportive, affordable housing in a transitional environment for people who are coming out of homelessness and going back into the community. It's a program. It's not rent. We're not landlords. It's a program. And they agree with us that here's the plan I'm going to follow to get out of here. And as long as they're working towards that plan, we work with them.
Sunrise Manor will have 60 apartment units. Roscoe expects it to open by February or March of next year, where individuals and families will be able to officially move in.
We're going to fill them up pretty quickly, I'm sure of that.
Because Idaho's most vulnerable need help. And to Reverend Roscoe, it's not a job, it's a call.
It breaks your heart, frankly.
Where people need housing, Roscoe gives them family.
We really care about one another. We are family.
Sunrise Manor is not just for elderly people experiencing homelessness. At the mission, it will serve a variety of people in that transitional housing period. And an anecdote, Joe, that really kind of stuck with me. There's an 85-year-old woman at the rescue mission right now. She has lived in a mobile home for about $500 a month for more than a decade. The landlord sold that mobile home. She had nowhere else to go. She couldn't find any place to live for $500 a month. She now finds herself at the rescue mission. Just one example of these 34 people who find themselves in that spot.
I want to remind you, everyone's situation is unique and everyone's experience is very different. So, having resources like this, very valuable in our community. It's Andrew Bartline reporting for us here on your Friday. The 208 is going to step aside, but we will be right back after this.